As lawmakers consider fixes or changes to Measure 110 in the upcoming short session, we're still hearing from folks who took the trip to Portugal about a month and a half ago. Several local lawmakers, drug policy folks, and a member of law enforcement all went abroad to look at Portugal's drug decriminalization system, which is important because Measure 110 was modeled after that, sort of. 110 was the topic of discussion at last week's Portland City Club meeting. The City Club's a gathering of civic-minded folks who care about what's happening in Portland. A few people who went to the Portugal trip were there to talk about their experience, and they discussed ways that Portugal's drug laws could be implemented here. Fernando Peña, the executive director of Northwest Instituto Latino, which offers addiction recovery support services for Latinos, sat in on one of the discussion committees in Portugal. That's where you're sent if you're caught with drugs. You're given a summons with a few days to show up to an appointment with the committee. That group is made up of 3 people who meet with you in a small room that's really not part of the police station or a courthouse. It's run by the public health department. Each person gets a mental health screening with a psychiatrist, and if that screening shows they need help with something, it is addressed.
That person then gets referred to and connected to what they call reintegration services, what we would call case management services or wraparound services in our country. And this person helps them access whatever services they may deem necessary in that situation. It could be anything from treatment for their substance use disorder, harm reduction interventions to prevent them from overdosing and dying or getting an STI, sexually transmitted infection. It may be housing, education, work. The stuff they did around work is also really clever and amazing. But that's what the Dissuasion Commission's job is. Each interaction with one of these people takes maybe 35 minutes, so it's a relatively quick process. They happen throughout the day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
But as we know, if you're going to have a committee send people to housing or work or treatment services, those resources have to exist. In Portugal, they do, at least to a much larger degree than they do in Portland. Democratic State Representative Rob Noce says Oregon needs to funnel more money in that direction.
Spending only $300 million in a biennium on addiction services and supports that complement what we're doing with commercial insurance or the Medicaid program is partially why we're struggling. Like, that's actually not enough resource, I would argue.
We would love to hear your thoughts about Measure 110. If you have something to say about the financial audit or some of these Portugal takeaways, let us know. Would you send them our way? You can email us. The address is thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090.